that seem to be listening, the only people that seem to be listening, a lot of them, they don't want that. All right, thank you for coming back to POV, all POV with Vic Christian. Going back right into the conversation with this very good panel. Look, as we were just saying during the break, I think that there are people who are not getting the chance who can help bring that cohesion of family back into our society. But I think that one of the things that needs to be asked, and this is a real question, is that because women are becoming more successful, you know, if a woman makes more money than her husband, is he's still the head of the family? And if he's still the head of the household, do you think the kids are going to respect him rather than the mama more?
Hell yeah. Let me tell you something. What camera I'm on? Ladies out there, y'all make more money. Y'all make more money than me. I'm still gonna run that household. It's just that simple. Because one thing, and I'm not trying to sound chauvinistic, but one thing we need to understand: no one can teach a child how to be a man but a man. You gotta remember that. Like you women, you work hard, you single, you raise your kid. I'm your mom and your daddy. I can't stand that. You are not. You know what I'm saying? A daddy is a daddy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Amen.
This is my point of view. You know what I'm saying? You cannot do that. And as far as you making the money, if we are a couple, then it's a benefit to our children. Don't get selfish now and try to throw it in my face.
Okay, but there are women who, because they feel like they're not getting the respect that they deserve for being
those the ones that be at the
more
bar by
successful.
themselves, drinking it up.
Okay,
Man.
not necessarily, but I think it's because of the traditional family attitude that we've have instilled in us. Not saying that it's right or wrong, I say I agree with it, but because it's instilled in us, there's this feeling that, you know, with men, there are a lot of men who may not be as secure with having his woman. I remember when you were here last time, your wife makes more money than you. And I asked you, I said, she makes more money than you? You said, she better. And you were happy with it. But you are different. You have an elevation in mind to be able to deal with that. I mean, don't you think that's a problem, though?
I think it's a problem if we make it a problem. I mean, it's not a problem for me, and I can only speak for myself. I have no problem with my wife making more money.
You heard that last time.
Rightfully so.
Leon?
Yeah. Man, it just comes down to respect. I mean, if y'all respect each other, it shouldn't be an issue, for real. I mean,
yeah, but like guys do have problems with that. I mean,
yeah, some do.
If you pulling out your Visa debit and your wife pulls out American Express Platinum, you do go. All right.
Seriously though, seriously.
It don't matter.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It don't matter.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, if you knew she's a lawyer when you married her, I mean, come on, you should have.
You knew you was at Wendy's, right?
Vic,
honestly, you should be like.
I work with.
That mindset has changed only in this generation.
I work with 30 couples a week on average, sometimes 40, sometimes more. I've yet to have two people come in there and their basic fight is she makes more than me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now they might be, we don't communicate.
Right.
We have some problems with our intimacy. We have some other problems that we're not functioning well as a couple.
Maybe they're not telling you. I'm not trying to say that you're not able to get out of them.
That's a good point, though, Vic.
But maybe they're not telling you.
I mean,
maybe the guy isn't telling you. Look, I don't think that it's something that everybody just blows off and says it's not a problem. Look, I'm a grown man, and because I was raised, my aunt said to me, you're supposed to be a provider. Every man in here has been told that. But if you're told you're supposed to be the provider, and you're with a partner, a woman, who's supposed to be, as you said, doctor, the neck and the head, and she had a way as the Japanese call it the butterfly effect. A woman who knows how to whisper in her man's ear to lead him in the way she thinks the family needs to go. If you have that, but your woman is the one making more money, that does take a psychological effect. Wouldn't you think?
It does. It just doesn't play out like I think we're suggesting here that it might. I see couples where there's a discrepancy on both sides. The problems I see people having is really they can't listen to each other and hear each other's story. They get angry, they get hurt, and they don't say, well, honey, what's important to you? How do we create a win-win situation? Mm-hmm. What you see is a win-lose or lose-win, which becomes a lose-lose. I see those problems play themselves out, and I don't know that they're financial in nature.
And I don't think that the female making more money, I don't think that that's a reason why couples break up. I think that that's a reason why people don't get married. I hear women all the time saying that they want their mate to
Make as much money.
exactly.
Yeah, but see, you hear that from women who don't make as much money as a guy either. There's this joke, you know what I'm saying? Women want men that make more money than them. Women want men that are stronger than them, that are in good shape, that keep themselves together. I'm like, okay, well, if you ain't doing it, how you expect me to date you when you won't even date you if you was me? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. So that means that's the whole difference. But on that train of thought, if a person or if a couple, and you guys deal with couples, get to a point where you know they shouldn't be together, should they stay together for the kids? I mean, there are a lot of that used to be one of the feelings that they also perpetuated back in the day. That even if you know y'all don't like each other and you shouldn't be together, if you got kids, because you got those kids, you need to stay together. Leon?
Oh, my fault.
Man, that's
That's
a tough one, honestly. I mean, I kind of do want to hear the professional opinion on this one, because I mean, that's a tough one. Because I mean, on one hand, you're like, okay, yeah, you kind of want your parents to be around each other, but if they're around each other, they're miserable. That's gonna trickle down to you and to everybody else, So, yeah.
I think that's a really good question. Do
Excellent.
I encourage two people actively dysfunctional? I say, why are you dysfunctional, and how do we help you become functional? If you look at couples and the marriage as fixed, then yeah, they can't become functional. But if you say, wow, maybe there's a way that we could work through our problems and become functional, and that's the thing about marriage, is that commitment for better or worse, not just being worse and not doing anything, having worse, not doing anything about it. How do we go to get help? In our community, we don't do that. We don't negotiate.
What's the
We don't
stigma? Mental illness, even if it's something in a relationship. You know what I mean? Illness of any dysfunction is considered to be a badge of dishonor in our relationship, or it was back in the day. And Lawrence?
Let me tell you something, fellas. You stay with that woman until that child is old enough to know who you are, then you dip. That's what you do. You don't leave while that child is small. Don't let nobody
wait a
else
minute, hold
mold.
See, you just
No,
ruined the whole thing.
No, I didn't ruin it. Hey, I'm on my professional opinion. I'm on the panel. This is my panel.
We got one desk. We
You know
got
what
one
I'm
desk.
saying?
We got one
It's a
desk.
nice finish too.
Yeah, it is.
This no. As far as that, because I believe that is an excellent question, and the answer to that is it depends on the individual. Honestly, it depends on within. You know what I'm saying? If you're not happy, here's what I ask anybody: if you miserable. I mean, really miserable, then leave. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, because you got to come first. If you're not right, how you going to expect to take? And you was right about that, because kids will feel how you are. But if you know deep in your heart that you can put up with her mouth, fellas, let's be real. These kids ain't asked to be here, man. Don't use that as no excuse, because then your kids be running wild, and the first thing you're saying, I don't want no other dude around my kid. But then you stay there, and then you make that happen.
Okay.
That's what you do.
So what are the major differences then? Because if that's not it, because this isn't just issues particular to the African American community. These are issues going across the span of ethnicities, okay? The ones that we're talking about now specifically within the African American community aren't specific to our community. I want to know, what are the major differences between black families and others? If you're saying that every other family ethnicity group is having success, at least in the majority, to keep their families together, say above 70% is what I hear you say, and we're at 33%, what are we doing wrong? I mean, let's put it out there.
I think our challenge is really, in a lot of cases, a selection issue. And by selection, I mean culturally, when you don't grow up with two parents, you make completely different decisions than people who do. I'm not saying people who don't grow up single don't make good choices, but your understanding of what a partnership is different. And I think that's part of our challenge.
Yeah.
Nah. What was the question again?
What are the major differences between black families and other families?
I believe we focus on the wrong things. We sensationalize the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? As far as like when you were saying during the break about the hip hop. Now, don't get it twisted. All other countries got all other ethnicities got baby daddies and all that stuff like that. But one thing about black people, you know, so what we try to do is we always try to give it an impression like we got it. You know, so we got this pride with us that kills us that no other, I don't see any other race doing it. So now I know I'm hurting because I'm lonely, my kid's gone, but I go buy a Gucci belt and some Jordans, and then I come on this panel and then grit on you because you got a degree and I can't read. You understand what I'm saying? So then when he hit me with a long word, I want to take him outside and fight. Because I can't read or write. That's the thing, our priorities, man. Our priorities different.
Dr. O?
I
agree.
It's very complex. and we
I don't think it's
definitely
that
don't have-
complex.
I think there's a lot of factors that we don't have time to discuss. Mainly, we don't discuss how the black family has been under constant attack.
I agree.
And I think that when we get into comparing black families to white families to, I don't believe in, I think that where we are, to quote Tupac, I think that we have shown some resilience. When you see a rose, the black family represents a rose growing from the concrete. I think you can easily say the rose might be beat up. We'll have,
But it's still a rose.
It's still a rose.
It's still a
Yeah.
rose.
And I think you can look
It's
at the black
still a
family
rose.
the same way.
We'll be back with more All POV with Vic Christian in 1 second. Don't go anywhere. I agree.